What's going on, guys? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Digimon Adventure 2020 episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 56, and the title is The Gold Wolf of the Crescent Moon. Before we start with anything, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys if you do all three of those things. YouTube will start to pick up and recognize that you guys are watching these videos. It really does help. It's harder for us smaller channels to get up and running, but doing it because I love it, and I hope you guys loving it too. So let's get right back into it. We do get a nice little recap of everything that's happened thus far. Getting to the big tree and Sora. We go to Sora. We go to Joe's part, which was very interesting. We do the last one we were at was Mimi. We get Rosemon, good stuff like that. We do get more clips of Rebellion, and now we are with Gabumon and Yamato. They are resting. It is nighttime. There's a bamboo forest, and Yamato is wondering what is beyond the arrow. They're all looking for their own crest. Correct. And Gabumon's having a dream, and it looks like in the dream he's surrounded by looks like Masaramon and possibly the big bad of this episode, but Gabumon is Crest Guruman. I'm spoiling it super early because I knew the Digimon instantly from jump. One of my favorite Digimon. Uh, he wakes up suddenly and he's like it's all a dream. He looks up at the moon, and as he looks up at the moon, suddenly a purpley fog comes in. The moon's been crescent moon, I think, on this one too. Uh, Funny enough, they're here for 3 days and it's a crescent moon every single night. So a horn goes off and Yamato stomps out the fire, and they take off running. And he tells Gabumon to get down, and a sword swipe cuts down several of the bamboo pieces. It is this Digimon, our big bad. This is Zanbamon. See if you know what, this picture is really not all that great. Yeah, there's Zomboman and Digimon Frontier. That's not another good one. Here's him in the video game. Yeah, looks like a really weird Digimon, right? Let's do his encyclopedia very quickly. Not very quickly, but we'll do it very correctly. Haha. Uh, First and foremost, he's a mega level Digimon, a Demon Man virus, and this guy is, of course, Demon Man, which has the appearance of a horse riding warrior. There's a courageous warrior who reigns as the general of the Busayamon. I already said that corpse, and although it is a general, it voluntarily stands at the head of its own army and prefers fighting style which cut into his enemies. Its lower half is fused with that of a horse, and in order to move easily about the battlefield, so that even during a pitched battle, it is able to swing its sword without losing its balance. Its special move is known as using the gigantic Zambato Ryuzan Maru. It holds in its right hand and unleashes an attack which, let me see if I can say this correctly, Uchikubi Gokumon. Got it right on the first try. Which has the power to cut through the opponent's armor with this gigantic blade, regardless of whether they are defending themselves. Its Jujumon Giri attack is unleashes using the other blade in his hand, the smaller, less thicker blade in his hand. Um, it releases a shockwave generated with the nimble swings of a slender blade that can cut an opponent apart crosswise. Zomboman was adopted from actually a winning entry. Someone who lived in the Chibi prefecture had actually came up with this Digimon. Pretty interesting. Um, so while he is rampaging and almost cutting up our heroes, we get three Digimon all hiding in the trees. First one is Grismon, also spelled Gryz in Japanese, but Grizz. Champion level Digimon. I will I'll do each of them one by one. He actually Zomboman first showed up in Digimon Frontier, losing to the two Royal Knights that worked for Lucemon. This guy, he did show up in Frontier as well for the movie and in Wars, but he first showed up in Digimon World 3, where his rookie form, known as Bearmon, Kumamon, for some reason in English, I don't know why they swapped it like that, but okay. Um, and that's actually an important thing to note. He's a beast Digimon that possesses the spirit of an honorable martial artist. Those big old claws. uh, and which results from a plainly massive body, as well as its fangs and claws, which conceal lethal potential. In spite of its large body, it can nimbly dodge opponents' attacks, which it really does, and turning them aside with its exceptional grappling techniques that it relies on instead of its own attacks. Though Grismon never starts a fight, the moment someone angers it, it will stand on this highland and knock them down with its heavyweight Kuma Sume. Its power is such that it is able to inflict a mortal wound on most Digimon with just a single blow. Those things he has on his arm, the Kuma Sume, appear to have been imitated in Waru Manzamon's Bear Claw. Makes a lot of sense. Hmm. Its special move is a bold move in which it knocks down the opponent by utilizing their attack power and converts it into striking them into their vitals. Atami Gaishi? Hmm. Looks like this guy is a judo fighter, which is pretty interesting. But he is not alone. Also, within the trees is an oldie but goodie, a Hanuman, which in English he was just Ape Mon. I actually had Ape Mon's card. I always thought he was just a weird Digimon. Had the little bone on his back, like a almost like a Marowak, but not because he's a beast. This guy here is a legendary Beastman Digimon covered in golden colored body fur. And although they have many sightings of it reported in the Central Asia area of the network, evidence proving its existence has not been found out as of yet. It's extremely rare and is said to be treated as a phantom Digimon by a group of people due to exceptional skill in repelling malicious computer viruses and similar entities. Did I lose my spot? I actually did. There have also been rumors of it circling the net at high speed while riding atop something resembling a cloud or a puff of smoke. He's also a play on Son Goku. Should have figured that out. His special move is further hardening his metallic body fur and shooting them out, which is was there English? There's no English word for that. Ooh. Well, it's Dahasutin, which interesting enough, a lot of Digimon do not name their attacks in this show. He first showed up in Digimon Adventures 2. I don't remember what he was doing, but he was also in Digimon Tamers, which is season 3. He was in the X Evolution movies. He was in Savers. This guy's been around for a while, mind you. He's one of the first Digimon in the Pendulum series. Now, the next Digimon, I think this might actually be his first appearance. It's called Strobimon, but the translation I was watching really elongated the O sound, but it's the Robimon. Look at that guy. You wouldn't think that that's an actual rookie level Digimon. Let's look at him in the card game. Look at that. Look at that cool little rabbit wolf guy. I'm gonna read him as I do with all of these things. Starobimon is a Digimon that was transformed into a half beast, half man form when Wolfmon, who's also known as Lobomon from Digimon Frontier, his power was halved because it has not lost its combat instinct, unlike the half beast, half man Flymon, the rookie form of Agunimon. It has a ferocious side. For that reason, although it has appearance of a child Digimon, it will sometimes rampage and even it gets out of control, even enough for an typical adult Digimon that can handle it. As with Flymon, although its power was decreased, it seems that adult class Digimon aren't a match for it. Its special move is cutting the opponents to pieces with shining claws. Lich Nigel. It's German. Don't know what that means though. But yeah, this is his literal first appearance in any anime. But it showed up in card form a long time ago. But I digress. So Grismon literally tells the Strabimon to stay back while him and Hanuman they attack the Zabumon. Zomboman doesn't look like he feels anything and swipes once. They both get deeply cut and they're killed. And Grizz before he goes tells Strabimon to look after the others. And he just dissipates into that digital cloud that they do. Well, Zomboman is preparing to get Strobimon, and Gabumon's already turned to Guruman. Him and Matt are going towards him. They fire a foxfire. It just goes through his head. So they speed up, catch Strobimon before it can be killed, and they are running. They are running for their lives. And Strobimon is saying, "If we can make it to the daybreak," and they do, just as Zombamon literally catches up with them before it can swipe. It just dissipates into a purple smoke, and the guy is gone. Now it's morning. We are at the village, and at the village there's several Digimon, and this is one of the things I was excited for. But I will get to the least exciting Digimon first. No offense to this guy. This is Mojamon. Mojamon first. I'll even do this for you. Look at him. He showed up in the original Digimon Adventure, Digimon Season 1. I think he was fighting. He had a black gear in him. He was fighting Frigimon. Fighting with Frigimon against Matt and Taichi. He's a champion level Digimon. When I say adult, I mean champion level. He's a champion level Digimon, another rare animal. He's a hairy rare animal Digimon, completely covered in white fur. It lives in the hinterland of snowy mountains. It's very unlikely to come across one. There are many reported sightings of Mojamon, but no evidence to prove its existence. So for a long period, it was considered to be a Digimon based on myths. With its carefree personality, it is never belligerent. However, it considers its den and territory to be sacred ground, and it will never permit this sacred ground to be invaded. Its special moves are gigantic icicle, made by causing the moisture in the atmosphere to instantly freeze icicle rod, and throwing the bone of an ancient Digimon which had become fixed in the ice. Hone Hone Boomerang. It's pretty much I'm saying a pattern. Most of the Digimon are beast Digimon. Some of them are rare beast Digimon. And one of the Digimon that comes to greet Strobimon is this guy here. In English, he's known as Monmon. Japanese, he's Koemon. Koemon first showed up in Digimon World 3. I have so much love for that game. Um, this is just a rookie level Digimon. I won't go too much into him because he doesn't have any speaking roles. But this guy here is Kotemon. Now you would think this guy would be up my alley. Like he's blue, has a sword. I chose Mon because I thought that name was funny. He was a green monkey. Kotemon is also a rookie level Digimon that first showed up in Digimon World 3, but he also showed up in the Digimon Frontiers, I'm looking for, movie along with Bearmon slash Kumamon. Also saw him in Digimon Savers. He was in Cross Wars. He was actually someone's partner in Cross Wars, the young hunters who leapt through time. Digimon's been around for a while, but that is one of the sad things. And if you're an eagle-eyed fan like myself, you know it's those two. And you saw that Grizzmon actually died. That means all three of them probably grew up together, and Bearmon just digivolved first. It's kind of sad when you think about it. Mojimon tells Strobimon to go ahead and get some rest. He's been up and running all night. And when others try to kind of comfort him, he closes the door. He's angsty rookie level Digimon. Um, excuse me. So, so they are trying to figure out what is going on, and I believe Yamato does ask Koshiro, you know, if he could look up some stuff on this because they've never encountered a Digimon that is more or less like a ghost that they cannot hit. And Koshiro said, of course, Koshiro's going to look into it. The residents have to hide in caves, and they send out certain parties of Digimon to, keep him busy until the morning light. But they're getting more and more casualties with that plan. Yamato basically steps forward and says, "Hey, we're gonna take care of this. You guys all just hide." And even though they do hide, you do see Mojamon and Strobimon standing at the mouth of the cave while the others sleep. And it's more than just Kotemon and Koemon. There's Gizamon, Gazamon. a couple of baby two forms. Of course, the older Digimon do tend to look after the younger ones, which is an interesting thing to note with the communities. Apparently, the Zomboman has gone through village after village, destroying and killing other Digimon. That's how they all got together. So they're gonna investigate, and the wind blows, and Gabumon looks up in the air. He kind of moves towards this cliff, and something that's going on. But when Coach Ro asked earlier, what are they gonna do? They can't ignore Digimon. This is something they learned from their time with Sora. Character development, obviously. And just Gabumon is getting another vision of this. It's Crest Guruman that's faced off against Zanbamon. He can't figure out what's going on. And when Yamato's trying to figure out what's wrong, no, everything's fine. Well, of course, night falls. We're in the bamboo forest. Yamato's up in the tree. All of a sudden, that same horn sound plays. Before he can be hit, he jumps on Guruman's back, and they're giving chase onto to Zombamon, and we get the full Digivolution sequence from Guruman to where Garurumon. He's already in, I want to say, is that called Alterius mode? He's already in his speed mode where he's bigger and has the lasers. Kaiser Nail does nothing to him. Laser Beam does nothing to him. Um, Zomboman does a stomp that causes a shockwave that makes both of them fall. And before he can attack them, we get a Giga Storm that, even though it goes through him, it stops him. Taichi and Metal Greymon are here. They're gonna back him up. Koshiro told them what was going on, and they weren't just gonna let Yamato go through this by himself. Well, it is now daybreak. Everyone is laid out and they're tired. Strobimon comes to check on Yamato, and he's like, "Okay, I guess it's morning now." And the craziest thing is we get that we didn't get to see the full battle. We get flashbacks of both Ultimates not doing anything to this Mega. Then they're both in their Mega forms, and they still can't hit this thing. War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, useless. Kind of makes you wonder why didn't they go to Omnimon? But I guess Omnimon is for world-ending threats. So Coach Ro found out some data on Zombamon. Apparently, Zombamon was involved in a big scale battle, and he was the general of one of the sides, kind of like the encyclopedia I read you. And this golden warrior, just clad in gold, had with a sword in hand. They fought one another, and the warrior won, but the sword of Zombamon did not leave, and the sword stayed there and became possessed with a curse. Well, the Golden Warrior used his own soul and his own spirit to seal off this sword in order to make sure nothing bad would happen. But it looks like perhaps the seal has been broken. All the other Digimon know of this, and Mojimon trying to tell Strobimon, tell them, and they need to know where this area is, so maybe they get some more information. Strobimon leads Garurumon and Yamato. It is the former place of his village. And when I was towards the end of the episode, I finally realized the area looks like it was cleaved both ways, at least with a slash, and it's a massive, massive slash. Kind of funny that Zombamon is the mega level Digimon are fairly large, like humans can feel on their shoulders. But I guess when you're zooming out and having these battles, you don't really notice it until the humans are involved. So they get to a cave. Of course, Strabimon is just he's like it's useless. Everything's useless. He's being a big edgelord crybaby, just like you see in the picture. He looks like a Sonic character. That's funny. He does. So as they're investigating, they see the worn out sword, and Spridemon's like, oh, obviously the evil soul won against his, so what use is all of it? When Guruman sees it, he says, I'm taking this. And he finally understands what was going on. And Yamato's asking what's going on. Stridemon's like, why are you doing this? Guruman's directly talking to Yamato and says, I've been having dreams about this. This thing has been calling to me. Trust me. He's like, all right, cool. I trust you. Well, why are you guys still doing this? Because once we set our minds on something, we're gonna continue it. Big old just crybaby. But they say this is a sword, guys. Once I show you the picture of what he turns into, this isn't a sword. This is literally either a halberd or naginata. Just I don't know how this got translated to sword, but whatever. So they are rushing back because they were trying to make it back to the village before nightfall. Nightfall's already reached. We have Metal Greymon versus Zomboman again. Of course, the Giga Storm does not do anything to him. Well, Yamato's Digivice glows once again. We go into Guruman, full on sequence. He has that halberd. It's not a sword, it's a halberd, and is actually able to clash with Zombamon. But the clash is so strong and the sword is so brittle. Halberd is so brittle, it breaks, and Guruman grabs it, and I guess it's supposed to be digital blood, but it's all purpley dark. It's like a dark petrol color blood coming down his hand. Yamato is picking up this massive weapon that is easily 5 times his size. And it's not like it's less cool than when Joe did it. When Joe had Zudomon's hammer and he was charged up with the light from Angel Woman, that was way cooler than this. Zomboman's coming in to slash. Both of them with the broken piece across and the giant halberd coming down are able to block it. And a light comes from the blade, and the blade reforges, and Guruman is holding it. Everyone's in awe because of this golden glow. And one of the coolest things is Yamato's Digivice does the does the Digimon chime. Really, really cool. And we see the Crest of Courage. If you know, you know. You see the Crest of Courage, and the beginning opening of Break the Chain is starting. We get the evolution and explosion of light, and we finally get to see Garurumon, which I wish this was in the Digivice. In the Digivice, he goes from Metal Marmon to Crest Garurumon. We get Garurumon turning into one of my favorite Digimon, Crest Garurumon, which are just I'm trying to find way better pictures. I mean, obviously you know who's in that. That's Crest Garurumon. Oh, guys, this guy actually has a Omnimon form. It's Omnimon Altair S that he forms with Blitz Greymon. Hence why he is one of my favorite Mega Level Digimon. Let's read about Crest Garurumon. He is the final form of Garurumon, a subspecies of Metal Garurumon, which became humanoid, unlike Zed Garurumon. If you know, you know. Is a fellow final form. It's clad in armor made of golden Digizoid, which can deflect attacks, and specializes in swordplay using the Kiju Ingetsuto, which is the name of. It's not really a sword. It's an halberd or naginata. He does get a really cool purple cape. It also spins his blade around because the blade it has is an ice weapon. And Koshiro, word for word, basically says this encyclopedia on the encyclopedia today, which is Crest Guruman. This is his first ever appearance. He first appeared in the 20th, what's it called? The Digital Monster version 20th Pets. Uh, I've raised this guy, even though getting a Gurumon is kind of weird, but that's a story for another day. The sequence for this is better than the sequence for Blitz Greymon, and I'm a Greymon fan, but this was way better, way better animation, and it wasn't any of that 3D stuff that they usually do for those two. It was hand drawn, but it looked way better. So, um, Zomboman is physically angered because the spirit, the ghost, the curse gets flashbacks of the battle that they once had with Crescent attacking him and eventually winning. He just goes forward. We get this is very samurai movie esque. We get a clash. Zanbamon gets some of that digital blood. I guess Digimon blood is a shiny black purple petrol color sliding down his face, and it's still angry. It's saying it's not gonna give up, and it turns around to attack again. Crescent is so fast. We don't see any of these strikes again. Strikes again with that halberd, and more blood comes down Zomboman's face, and it finally disperses into digital particles when the Digimon die. The sword is fading away as well, so they finally got rid of this thing. Uh, yeah, and it's just not a sword. I'm just gonna keep iterating that. That's not a sword. The village thanks all of them. They were just happy to see the techniques of the Golden Warrior. And Strobimon says, "I finally understand what you guys what you meant. You know, you got to have belief and faith and strength, and I'm going to be worthy of this." They leave the rusted halberd that helped them get to that evolution with them, which I guess maybe Strobimon can turn into Garurumon. I checked the evolution chart on it as I was doing preparation for the video. So anyway, um, what is his name? Gabumon doesn't really have any memory of his time as Crest Guruman, which I find very suspicious, but I digress. Um, the episode ends with Taichi saying, "Wow, Yamato was able to uncover the secret of the Crest. That's two of them. You know, it's time for us to figure out what's going on, Agumon, and they're determined." I don't know if I mentioned last week that we got a new ending song, which pairs up everyone. You know, uh, Taichi and Yamato, their Digimon, of course Takaru and Hikari, Sora, Koshiro, and Mimi and Joe. It makes me want to see everybody else get, fusion, get Jagras, get DNA Digivolutions with their megas. I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to see an Ice Flower Digimon, but I digress. Better song than the last one. Toji Encyclopedia was, of course, Crest Guruman. The funny bit was once Coach Ro was saying wow about how fast and strong it was, Tentomon started practicing swipes. Next week's going to be Wisemon, and next week, looks like Agumon and Taichi are going to be fighting Agumon again. Um, and looks like they're up to some new tricks, so here's hoping that either they get that Crest of Courage or Agumon turns into Blitz Greymon again, and we get better evolution for it, better animation for it. All in all, with my bias intact, this was actually a very sturdier story. Kind of, it looks like it was there to just promote the growth, to show the growth of Yamato. You know how far you came along from mind our business to we should actually help these people, which he did again with Machmon. Just showing friendship is his deal. Friendship is, what they're going to keep doing. I would give this. It moved the story forward, but it's a pretty solid episode. Just not super spectacular. I give it a 4 out of 5. Not bad at all. And that's with my bias of Crest Gurumon. Even without, actually, that's without the bias. Yeah, without the bias, it's a 4. With the bias, it's still a 4 because I recognize good episode, solid episode, just not super spectacular. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Man, I'm really disappointed that Blitz Greymon's evolution sequence was not as cool as Crest Garurumon. And I actually wonder if we're gonna get Altier S as like an ending, because if Algromon has to do with the giant catastrophe, that would be interesting, very interesting. Maybe it's evolved to the point where Omnimon can't beat it, and they have to go to Altier S. Never know. Also, before I let you go, apparently there's rumblings that there's going to be a season 2 of the Adventure reboot, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope they add on the Adventure 2 children, keep them young like uh, Takaru and Hikari, because I did not like the and this is I watched it in dubbed, and I don't know how it is with sub. I did not like the attitude of a lot of the kids. They were really unnecessarily snarky. Like I have fond memories of the anime and everything, but their personalities, like the personalities of the kids in this, they're less like they don't fight as much. They're more put together, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that way more. It's as if we're, uh, I want to say, character proofing with the modernization. Because everything doesn't have to be weird and funky like the '90s. I appreciate a more competent group. I appreciate we don't have to see Yamato and Taichi fist fight. That part just didn't make any sense to me. But I digress. 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. We do these Digimon videos every Sunday. And of course, I am thankful for all of you showing up and giving me a watch and a listen. As always, be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, especially if you're not vaccinated yet. Black Lives Matter. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Please don't be a jerk, and I will definitely see you next time.